I almost destroyed my career and the family I hold dearest to me until I discovered that trying to quit alcohol through sheer willpower is a broken strategy. What most people don't realize about high functioning drinking is that you aren't drinking for fun. You're using this chemical solvent to escape unmanaged stress and anxiety. Over 5 years of sobriety has taught me that you cannot out willpower a dead battery. Today, I'm sharing the exact three-legged system that will help you eliminate that evening craving, handle the underlying anxiety, and take back control of your life without white-knuckling it. Here's the truth. You're not drinking because you want to have fun, you like it, or you want to party. You're drinking because you're trying to outrun a nervous system that is crippled by anxiety and stress. You might have started drinking because everybody drank and it was fun when you were out with friends, but that was a long time ago. Drinking is no longer a fun thing to do. This is something you do because you almost have to do it. You have trained yourself and you have developed a habit of using alcohol in order to deal with strong emotions like anxiety and stress. For me, it became almost like an automatic routine. I would come home and open a bottle of wine or beer and just start drinking. I didn't even give it a second thought. That was just something I did. Later on, I would start drinking just to deal with strong emotions, to give myself a rest, a pause from all of this unmanaged stress that I had built throughout the day and the week. I remember my years working as an engineering manager. It was a high stress, high stakes job. And my stress would build up throughout the days and the weeks, and I did not have a really good way of dealing with this stress. So over time, alcohol became my go-to tool in order to find relief and to take a pause from all of the stress and anxiety that I felt on a day-to-day basis. And like many of us, I didn't start drinking a lot all of a sudden. It was just something that crept on me over time. Little by little, I started using alcohol as my prime mechanism, as the number one tool in order to get a break, in order to get a respite and a rest from all of these ideas and all of these problems that I had to worry about and all of the anxious thoughts that existed in my mind. At the time, I really didn't give much thought about managing my own emotions and my stress level and my anxious thoughts. And I say this to you because I realize that you might have fallen for the same trap. And just saying, well, I'm just not going to drink, or when people tell you just don't drink so much, it sounds easy, but it's actually very hard to do, because this is a tool that we have used over and over again in order to relieve these strong emotions. And many of us don't have anything else to rely on. So just saying, I'm just not going to drink from now on, which is called like white knuckling, doesn't work. It might work for a little bit, but because you don't have any other way of dealing with this, eventually the temptation and the need to drink will be too strong. And this leaves the stress and the anxiety unmanaged. So how do you change this? You need a three-step process, what I call the three-legged stool, to stand on. The first leg is what I call the Mr. Miyagi rule. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and one of my favorite movies was Karate Kid. In the movie, a kid called Daniel was being bullied and harassed by kids in school, and he was trying to learn how to defend himself. Mr. Miyagi was trying to teach him some ancient karate wisdom so Daniel could defend himself. And when Daniel asked Mr. Miyagi what was the best thing he could do to win a fight, and don't quote me on this, Mr. Miyagi said something to the effect, Daniel-san, in order to win a fight, the best thing is not be there.
From very first karate lesson, Miyagi father always say, best way to avoid punch, no be there.
You know what I'm trying to say? In order to win a fight, it's better to not start a fight. So if you don't want to drink, don't hang out in the places where people drink. Don't hang out with the people that drink. And we are creatures of habit and routines are very hard to break for good and for bad. Good routines like doing exercise and eating clean are hard to break, and once you have that established, you have a huge advantage over somebody who's just getting started. Same thing with bad habits. If you're in the habit of popping open a bottle of beer every evening at the same time, guess what? When that time hits, your mind is going to remember. It's going to say, hey buddy, where is my beer? And it's necessary not just to break the routine, but to replace it with something else, because your mind is going to expect you to do something instead. And if you don't, it's going to throw a strong craving your way. And that's what cravings are the physical manifestation of this strong desire to change your state of mind. So if you've been feeling anxious and stressed out and you've used alcohol for a very long time in order to manage this, guess what? Next time you feel anxious and stressed, your mind is going to say, hey, where is my drink? And if you don't have anything else to replace it with, it's going to be very, very hard to fight this urge and these cravings. So that's the second leg of the stool. You have to replace the drinking activity with something else that you enjoy. And it has to be something that is non-productive. You can just say, well, I'm just going to work more, or I'm going to do something that I need to finish up. But the idea here is that you need to replace the drinking with something else that allows you to gain some relief, that gives you some respite, some pause from all the thinking and all the planning that we do every day. So think about the things that you truly enjoy. Make a list of these things and make sure that you plan ahead to do them instead of drinking. It could be physical activity, a sport that you enjoy, or an activity that you like doing with somebody else, a friend, so you can combine both physical and social activities together. Creative outlets, if you like music, if you can play music, or any kind of artistic endeavor, if you like drawing or painting or even doodling, make sure you take time to engage in this non-productive activity that provides you with a lot of pleasure and gives you a break from all the thinking and all the stressful emotions and all the anxiety going on in your head. And the third leg of the stool is the analysis. For all of you technical people out there, you might like this. The third leg of the stool relies on you logging the data. Write down when you're feeling stressed out. Write down when you're feeling anxious. Try to analyze the situation that leads to this. What are the emotions? What are the thoughts that go through your head when you're feeling these strong feelings? And start recording them, because that way you can start to gain some awareness of why it is that you're feeling so strong about certain things that lead to drinking. This allows you to acknowledge the weight of this emotion instead of just putting them aside or pretending they're not there. And what I recommend you do is to keep a journal. Yes, good old journaling. So you will write down what are the things that you're feeling, when are you feeling them, in order to acknowledge them, to bring them to the surface, so you know what's happening and you can observe and realize what's going on. Because gaining awareness will help you to fight back. And how do you fight back? You fight back by realizing what are all the things that are going right in your life. To realize that a lot of the things that are going on in the world that you feel bear heavy on you are compensated by the things that are going right in your life. So acknowledging the things that you do have, acknowledging the things that are going well for you to live the life that you want to live. A good old gratitude journal. Write down and acknowledge the things that are going well, that you feel thankful for. And when you're feeling thankful, when you're feeling like things are going well in certain aspects of your life, then those other worries and the weight of all the problems that you have to deal with don't feel so heavy, because they feel counterbalanced with the idea that there are a lot of other things in your life that are actually going very well. So by following these 3 steps, by changing your routine, by swapping the drinking with other activities that give you pleasure and fun, and by acknowledging your own emotions and starting to recognize all the good things that are going on in your life, this will help you do not feel the urge of drinking so strongly every day. And I'm not saying that not drinking and sobriety is going to fix all your problems. I stopped drinking 5 years ago, and there are days where I feel very anxious and stressed out. I mean, life is life, and we have to deal with problems no matter what, but that's just the way it is. And having to deal with life with a clear mind, with having slept a good 8 hours a night, with my wits to myself, it's a much better way of living my life than the way I was doing it before. So no, I'm not going to say that if you stop drinking, that your financial problems are going to go away, your personal problems are going to go away. They're not. But at the very minimum, you're going to have the presence of mind, the strength, and the willingness to tackle some of these problems head on and start making meaningful changes that create meaningful impact in your life. This can be done. It is not rocket science. It requires willingness and follow these 3 steps. But if you do, you will be amazed on how your life starts changing, how you start reaching for your goals, and how your energy and enthusiasm starts to come back. And if you need help, I made it my business to help men like you, intelligent men, smart men who find themselves stuck in a situation with alcohol that they don't know how to break. I will help you with the skills and the knowledge and the insights that you need in order to break this habit once and for all, because you and I know that you deserve it, your family deserve it, and best of all, it's something you can do starting now, because there's no better time than now. So click the link in the description below and let's have a chat and let's figure out how can I help you become that version of yourself that you know you can be, you want to be for yourself and your family. This is Alex Rivera, the Sobriety Strategist, and I will see you in the next video.